You ever try to carry a brick in your waistband during summer? Yeah, me neither. But some of y'all are out here toting full-size pistols like it's some kind of John Wick costume party. Now don't get me wrong, I've got a soft spot for a solid 9mm, same as the next guy. But let's not kid ourselves, size does matter, especially when that thing's printing like the Sunday paper under a snug t-shirt. That's where the 380 ACP steps in, hotter than a 4th of July bonfire. It's lighter, easier to handle, and these days, a modern 380's not the pop gun it used to be. Thanks to smart design work, these little pistols bring real-world dependability, better feel in the hand, and higher capacity, all tucked into smaller, friendlier frames. That makes them easier to carry, quicker to draw, and a whole lot gentler on your hands, especially if you're new to the game, or don't have a grip like a ranch gate latch. Add in ammo choices that have come a long way, and now the 380 starts looking a whole lot more serious. If you've been sleeping on the 380 for your everyday carry, take this as your sign to wake up. I've got 10 compact 380 pistols here that flat out deserve your attention in the year 2025. Some are tough as boot leather, others are dressed up a bit fancy, but every last one's earned a place on your short list. Let's dig in. Starting off the list at number 10, we've got a fresh face that's smooth, smart, and a whole lot easier to handle than you'd expect the Walther PD380. Walther put this one together for folks who value comfort, confidence, and control, all wrapped up in a clean, no-nonsense little package, and you better believe it delivers. Let's run down the basics. It's chambered in 380 ACP, holds 9 rounds, and runs on a double action, single action, hammer-fired setup, something that's getting rare these days, what with striker-fired guns taking over the market. But here's where it really stands out. Ease of use. That slide rack's so easy it's almost laughable. Feels like you could do it with just one finger. That's a game changer for folks with limited hand strength, first-time carriers, or anyone tired of fighting with stubborn slides. In double action, the trigger's smooth with a steady pull. Flip to single action, and you're looking at a crisp, reliable break that builds confidence with every shot. As for recoil, hardly even there. Compared to those snappy little micro 9mm, the PD380 feels more like warming up than throwing down. Follow-up shots come quicker, tighter, and with more control. The controls are friendly too. Paddle-style mag release, ambidextrous safety, and decocker, it's all built to give you options without making things complicated. This ain't some high-capacity tactical showboat. It's a purpose-built carry pistol made for folks who care more about comfort, accuracy, and day-to-day practicality. Now, is it going to impress the caliber snobs? Probably not. But if you're just getting started, a little older, or simply want a 380 that shoots soft without feeling like you settled, the PD380 might just be the most overlooked gem of the year. Now this right here, that's how you do a version 2. The Bodyguard 2.0 ain't just a fresh coat of paint. It's a full-blown performance overhaul that finally makes this pocket-sized pistol worth strapping on. Smith & Wesson tossed out the old double-action system and rolled in a striker-fired setup with a flat-faced trigger that breaks clean at right around 4 pounds. What that means in plain talk? Smoother pulls, tighter groups, and more confidence behind every shot. They didn't stop there, either. They gave the grip a makeover with aggressive texturing, so you've got real control even if your hands are sweaty or you're laying down rounds fast. And here's a little bonus. They bumped the mag up to 10 rounds, with an optional 12-rounder if you want a bit more punch. All that packed into a gun that's still just 5 1/2 inches long and weighs in under 15 ounces loaded. That's no joke, serious firepower from something that all but vanishes in your waistband. Sight's got a proper upgrade too. A high visibility front teamed with a blackout rear makes for fast, natural sight alignment. It draws quick, hides easy, and was built to ride hard without fussing. Now sure, it's not flawless. The slide can be a bit stubborn straight out of the box, and some folks say that trigger safety will rub your finger raw if you're running long sessions. Plus, it's a bit picky about ammo when brand new. But once you get it broken in, it'll run clean and reliable. The Bodyguard 2.0 takes a so pistol and turns it into a real contender. If you're after a lightweight 380 that doesn't cut corners, This one's worth a hard look. This little fella's the kind of pistol you bring out at the range, and folks stop what they're doing just to get a look. It's compact, it's classy, and it's wearing its 1911 roots right there on its sleeve. But don't get the wrong idea, this ain't just some showpiece. It's the real deal when it comes to concealed carry, bringing a high-end feel to a pocket-sized frame. Let's talk build. The Kimber Micro 380 sports an aluminum frame and runs single action, laid out just like its big brother, the 1911. That means you get a crisp trigger, manual thumb safety, and solid tactile feel all wrapped up in a gun that tips the scales at just about 13 4/10 ounces unloaded and comes in just shy of 6 inches long. It's slick, slim, and rides easy, whether it's tucked into a pocket holster or carried up front in a low-profile appendix rig. Trigger pull's light and predictable, just what you want for fast, accurate shooting when it counts. Pair that with tight-fitting internals, trustworthy function, and finish options that go from stainless to rose gold. And you can see real quick why this one's a favorite for folks who want a little flair with their firepower. Now, is it flawless? No firearm ever is. The Micro 380 needs a little break-in, and she runs best on high-quality ammo. Plus, with that shorter grip and a 6+1 capacity, this ain't the gun for a drawn-out fight, but that's not what it's built for. This is a tool for discreet carry for someone who appreciates a bit of refinement in a lean, tidy package. The Kimber Micro 380 is smooth, dependable, and sharp as a tack. It's the kind of pistol a gentleman or a lady might carry on them. But don't let the looks fool you. When the chips are down, it's more than ready to get to work. The name says it all, easy, because this pistol was built to make life simpler, plain and true. The Shield EZ380 is Smith & Wesson's answer to the folks saying, I need a gun that's easy to run, easy to shoot, and easy to carry. And here's the heads up. It hits the mark clean. Whether you're brand new to firearms, got hands that ain't what they used to be, or you're just plain worn out from fighting stiff slides and gritty triggers, this one's a game changer. Right from the get-go, that slide is smooth as elk hide, no joke. It racks easier than just about any other pistol in its class, and that alone makes it a lifesaver for folks who struggle with them traditional micro-compact actions. Add in a grip safety, an optional manual thumb safety, and a light, clean braking trigger. And what you've got is a pistol that's downright friendly and full of confidence. Capacity lands at 8+1, which is more than respectable for a gun this size, and the grip's long enough to keep all your fingers on board, no pinkies left hanging off the end. It's compact, but not tiny, stretching just about 6 7/10 inches front to back and weighing close to 18 1/2 ounces unloaded, which gives it a steadier hand than some of the lighter rigs out there. Now, as far as shooting goes, recoil's nice and tame. Makes it a real joy to train with and lets you stay fast on your follow-up shots. The easy design also means cleaning and takedown is a breeze, no tools, no hassle, no cussing involved. Sure, there are sleeker-looking pistols on the market. But if you're after comfort, control, and hard-use reliability from sunup to sundown, the Shield EZ380 ticks all the boxes. It ain't just easy, it's downright smart. And if you're in the market for a 380 that won't fight you every inch of the way, this one's a no-brainer. If quiet carries your style, the Kahr CW380 is your ace in the hole. This little pistol don't puff its chest or try to win beauty contests, it just flat out works. At just 10 2/10 ounces unloaded and under 5 inches long, it's smaller than most smartphones and lighter than your wallet after a trip to the range. It's tailor-made for pocket carry, ankle holsters, or bare-bones setups where size and weight make all the difference. Now, don't let its size fool you. The CW380 is built with real quality. The double-action only trigger is pure Kahr, long, smooth, and deliberate. Might take a little getting used to, but once you do, it's surprisingly easy to shoot straight. And here's the kicker. Unlike most pocket pistols in the 380 class, this one actually locks open after the last round, which feels like finding a heater in a wall tent come November. The build itself is solid precision machined stainless slide, polymer frame, and surprisingly decent factory sights. No fluff, no nonsense. Every part does what it's supposed to, and nothing more. Reliability's real strong after it's broken in proper. Kahr says about 200 rounds ought to do it. Treat it right, and this little thing will hum along like a ranch hand who doesn't complain. Drawbacks? Sure. It's a bit snappy, comes with the territory in a gun this small. The slide's stiff right out of the box, and it doesn't much care for cheap ammo. But again, we're talking about a pistol that can vanish into your jeans pocket. There's always a trade-off when you're packing this light. The CW380 is made for folks who take their carry serious. It's a true subcompact, built to disappear when needed and be right there when it matters most. Not flashy, not loud, just ready. If you're hunting for a 380 that doesn't feel like you're trying to shoot a breath mint out of a soda straw, let me walk you over to the Walther PK380. This little workhorse brings a full-size feel to a compact round, and for some of us, that's just what the country doc ordered. While most pistols in this caliber try to go as small as engineering will allow, the PK380 just tips its hat and says, "No thanks, I'd rather be shootable." Stretching just past 6 1/2 inches long and weighing close to 18 ounces unloaded, it's bigger than most on this list, but that size pays off big in the recoil department. Thanks to the blowback action, longer barrel, and a proper grip, this thing shoots softer than a mule on melatonin. You can train with it all day and still chew steak after. It's running a double action Tor single action trigger setup, giving you options. First pull's got some weight and length to it, but every follow-up is crisp and short. That's a big win for folks wanting a little more built-in safety without slowing down when it's go time. Controls are ambidextrous, the slide rack's easy, and the grip's shaped real nice, friendly for new shooters. But seasoned hands will appreciate how smooth it handles too. Now, it ain't without its quirks. The mag release is one of them European-style setups right on the trigger guard, and the manual safety's required to break it down for cleaning. If you're used to striker-fired pistols, that might feel a little clunky. But once you get the rhythm, it's no trouble. If your only goal is tucking a gun so deep it vanishes, this ain't your guy. But if you're after a soft-shooting, comfortable, confidence-building pistol, the PK380 is one of those sleeper picks that flat-out deserves more credit. Truth is, it's one of the most overlooked pistols in the 380 scene. Clean, classic looks, a solid all-metal frame, and a trigger that'll have you doubling back at the price tag. For under $300, you're getting PPK feel without the PPK fuss. The Bersa Thunder. 380's double action single action trigger is mighty smooth, especially in single action, where it breaks clean and crisp like a frosty twig. That double action pulls a bit longer, but it's nothing you can't handle. And it's got that old school decocker and safety combo, making it feel like a throwback in all the right ways. It ain't striker fired, and that's a good thing for folks who like the feel of traditional parts and manual safeties you can work with gloves on. The Thunder 380 fits in your hand better than most of those micro compacts, carrying just enough weight to tame the bark of a 380. Tipped on the scale, it runs about 20 ounces unloaded. It sure ain't the lightest rig in the safe, but that extra heft soaks up recoil and gives you better control, real helpful for folks still getting their feet under them. Capacity's sitting at either 7+1 or 8+1, depending on which mag you're running, and it comes with sights you can actually see and use. No gimmicky, painted on dots here. It's not quite pocket size, but it rides smooth inside the waistband, and it's downright easy to hit what you're pointing at. Reliability? Rock solid. Maintenance? No fuss. And style? Yeah, she's got that too. Now, it ain't some modular optics-ready space gun, and it don't come with rails and doodads hanging off it. But the Bersa Thunder 380 earns its stripes the old-school way with performance, price, and pure, honest practicality. If you're after a classy, hammer-fired 380 that won't drain your bank account, but might just raise a few eyebrows at the range, this Argentine workhorse is worth a serious look. This one's for the kind of folks who like their carry guns the way they like their whiskey small batch, smooth and real refined. The Sig P238 SAS ain't just a pistol you carry, it's one you respect. We're talking a Micro 1911 chambered in 380 ACP, and Sig didn't hold back. They went full send on making it both functional and fine looking. That SAS in the name stands for Sig Anti-Snag, and they mean it. Everything's been melted down and beveled, no sharp corners, no edges waiting to catch on fabric. Just clean lines and smooth draws, whether it's sitting in a pocket holster or buried deep in your waistband. This little shooter draws like it's meant to live there. It weighs right around 15 2/10 ounces unloaded, with a barrel just shy of 2 7/10 inches. Small enough to disappear, but hefty enough to soak up that 380 recoil like a true champ. And that single action trigger feels like it came out of custom shop. Snaps clean, resets quick, and doesn't have an ounce of slop in it. Sig even throws in tritium night sights standard, because when it comes to sights, they don't play. Capacity's sitting at 6+1, which ain't blowing up any stat sheets, but that's not what this rig's built for. It's for accuracy and comfort, not dumping mags just to make noise. Truth be told, with how shootable this thing is, odds are your first shot's gonna land where it needs to. Now look, it ain't what you'd call cheap, but you're not just paying for a gun. You're buying craftsmanship, confidence, and class. The P238 SAS is a pocket-sized gentleman's piece that runs like a full-grown warrior. Smooth, sharp, and built with the precision of a Swiss watch. If you're looking for top-shelf carry in a microframe, well, this is the one. Let's be honest, Glock don't really deal in surprises. What they offer is consistency. And the Glock 42 is classic Glock through and through. Simple, dependable, and built like a tank wearing gym clothes. What makes this one stand out is how it packs all that Glock DNA into a 380 ACP frame that's just right for everyday carry. No frills, no gimmicks, just a smooth handling, rock-solid pocket pistol that's always ready to roll. At just 94/100ths of an inch wide, the Glock 42 is the slimmest one they make. Comes in at just 13 8/10 ounces empty and stretches out to 5 94/100ths inches long. That makes it easy to tuck just about anywhere. IWB, ankle holster, or even deep pocket setups. It ain't the tiniest pistol on the block, but it nails that sweet spot between shootability and concealability, and that balance is no easy feat. Capacity is 6+1, which might seem a touch light. But here's the kicker. This little Glock is easy to shoot well. Recoil stays tame, the trigger's predictable, and the grip feels natural, especially if you're already running a Glock 19 or Glock 43. Controls are all familiar, which means no learning curve. Just draw and go. That's a big deal when it comes to defensive carry. Plus, you've got that massive Glock aftermarket behind you. Triggers, sights, holsters, you name it, it's out there. And like every Glock, it'll eat anything you feed it. Dirty, wet, cheap range ammo, it don't care. It just keeps running. The Glock 42 is for folks who want zero fuss and 100% trust in their sidearm. It don't show off, but it sure shows up. It's Glock being Glock, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. The Ruger LCP Max didn't just give the original a tune-up, it rewrote the whole playbook on what a Micro 380 can do. When Ruger rolled this one out, it was making a loud and clear statement. You can have capacity, concealability, and real performance in a gun that weighs less than a drive-thru burger. Let's run the specs. 10+1 rounds in a pistol that weighs just 10 6/10 ounces empty and measures 5 17/100ths inches long. That's wild. And if you're wanting a little extra, Ruger's got a 12-round mag that brings your pinky back and adds 2 more reasons to feel good. Unlike the original LCP, which shot like you were slapping staples, the Max is shockingly comfortable to run. The grip's been thickened up, the trigger feels cleaner, and they finally gave us proper sights, not those milled in bumps. Even better, it comes standard with a tritium front night sight, which is a rare treat in this price range. It's hammer-fired and breaks clean with a short pull. Big slide serrations give solid grip, and racking it is surprisingly easy for a pistol this size. Whether it's sitting deep in a pocket holster or tucked in a light IWB setup, it vanishes in a blink and draws like butter. Now, it's still got some pop. Physics ain't negotiable. Recoil's better than older versions, but you'll feel it if you're running box after box. That said, for what it is, This little rig hits hard. The LCP Max is hands down the top dog in the Micro 380 class right now. It's got the juice, the stealth, and the upgrades that make it more than just a last-ditch piece. This ain't just another mouse gun. This one roars. There you have it, 9 of the best 380 concealed carry pistols heading into 2025. Whether you're all about maxing out capacity, keeping things featherweight, or wanting that smooth 1911 feel in a micro frame, there's something on this list that'll ride right in your holster and match up with how you live. 380 ain't just a backup gun anymore. It's a full-blown everyday carry contender with more punch and polish than ever before. What counts most is finding what fits your hand, your routine, and your peace of mind, and every one of these picks pulls its weight when it matters. If this video gave you something to chew on, go ahead and tap that like button. Hit subscribe for more real-world gun talk, and let us know your favorite 380 down in the comments. Stay sharp, stay safe. Till next time, lock and load.